Hello to all of our Laurel families. Welcome to the 2021-22 school year. I am Mr. Gray, your principal. Along with me is Dr. Jennifer Blackburn. She is our assistant principal.
Hello, welcome back.
So the purpose of this video is to just give you some update information regarding orientation, regarding school. We know we had students on campus last year. We also had students doing e-learning. The first big news is there is no e-learning for this year. It is only campus learning. So if you think that we're going to have e-learning scheduled this year, you might want to call the office immediately. The only virtual options this year are Polk Virtual and Florida Virtual. As far as Laurel, it is only campus-based learning. So all of our students will be on campus. You can receive information regularly from us either through Facebook, through the school website. Dr. Blackburn and I, we also send out emails as well to parents. We encourage all of you to go to Parent Portal through the district and make sure that you have access to Parent Portal. Through Parent Portal, you will be able to look at your students' class schedule. You'll be able to see their transportation schedule. However, it's not going to be available until the date of orientation, which is very similar to last year. All that information is not open to parents until the date of orientation. But through Parent Portal, you will have access to class schedule, through transportation if you requested it, but it won't be available until August the 6th. Another way we communicate with parents, specifically teachers, is through Class Dojo, through the agendas, phone calls, and as I said earlier, through emails. So we have several different ways that we communicate through parents. You are either going to receive this video through the Facebook page or through email. If you are looking at it through Facebook, you can go ahead and comment any questions that you have in the comment section. Or if you're receiving it through email, you can go ahead and respond back to the email. I will send it out personally through my professional email, but Dr. Blackburn will also be on there. So you can go ahead and reply to myself and Dr. Blackburn any questions you may have. We're going to start off with COVID updates. And if this is recorded, so if I go a little too fast for you, you can go in and rewind it, or like I said, ask questions. So the first COVID update is masks, they are optional. Masks are optional for staff, for students, for volunteers. Masks are optional. That is at all of Polk County Public Schools. Let's say a child is sent home because they were in quarantine or they tested positive. There are 3 ways for them to come back to campus. The first way is to self-quarantine for 10 school days. The first way is to self-quarantine for 10 school days and have no symptoms and be fever-free for 24 hours. The second way is to have a signed doctor's note stating that the child may return and is symptoms-free. And the last way is proof of a negative COVID test. So if your child is sent home due to symptoms or they were positive, then there are 3 ways to return to campus. That's either self-quarantine for the 10 days, a signed doctor's note saying they may return to class, or proof of a negative test. Last year, we modified all of our drills due to COVID. This year, we are not going to modify our drills. When I mean drills, I mean like the fire drill. We're also talking about active shooter drill. We do that to make sure that our students know all of the procedures that are in place. We also have severe weather drills. So all of our drills will be scheduled as normal. We try to do at least 1 fire drill a month. We also do active shooter drill at least once this month as well. And that's not just Laurel, that's all of Polk County Public Schools. We have 2 isolation rooms on campus in the event someone does have symptoms. So we have 2 isolation rooms. And even though masks are optional in general, once a student or staff enters into the isolation room, masks are required. For transportation, if your student is a bus rider, transportation will be at full capacity. Transportation will be at full capacity. So last year they limited the capacity of riders for transportation. This year it will be at full capacity. When it comes to social distancing, we have a high enrollment of students. We have over 900 K through 5 students. Um, and when you add pre-K into that, we're close to 1,000. So we can social distance as best as we can. So if the CDC recommends X amount of feet, we are allowed to social distance as best as we can. Volunteers, last year, volunteers were not allowed on campus due to COVID. However, this year, if you are an approved volunteer, you are allowed on campus. Approved volunteers are allowed on campus. So right now, that's all I have for the COVID updates. Similar to last year, if there is a positive case on campus, all parents and staff will be notified through the call out system and through email. So as I just mentioned, we have a high population on campus. We reached out to the district just to notify them that in the summer or early summer, spring actually, that we have several homes being built in our community and we are expecting a high population. Due to that, we have 9 new portables on campus. All of our second grade students will be in the portables. So you'll have second grade and our pre-K and VPK students, they will be in portables. So last year, second grade, they were in main buildings. This year, they will be in portables. For orientation purposes, because they are not finished with finalizing construction, for orientation, second grade will be housed in the media center. Second grade will be in the media center for orientation, but they are expected to be in their actual portable classroom by Tuesday, August the 10th. For transportation, for orientation, all of transportation, if you have any questions to receive a bus information, car rider tags, that will be in the cafeteria during orientation. It's important to note that if you were enrolled after July 28th, as of right now, you do not have bus transportation. If you are enrolled after July 28th, as of right now, you do not have bus transportation. We realize that some of those students will be temporary car riders. So for all of those students who are requesting bus transportation, but who have to be a car rider to start the year off, you will receive a red bus car rider tag. You will receive a red car rider tag with a number. That will let the staff know that this child is a temporary car rider until they get bus transportation. If you are a car rider, we have new car rider tags that were donated and provided to us by a law firm. And so those will be given out. There will be two tags per family this year. There will just be 2 tags per family. The way the car rider numbers will be set up is if your child is in kindergarten, their number will be between 0 and 99. If they're in kindergarten, 0 and 99. If they're in first grade, 100 and 199. If they're in second grade, there will be between 200 and 299 and so forth. So if they're in 5th grade, it will be between 500 and 599. For walkers, for the safety of our walker students, we know that sometimes a parent may tell their child to be a walker and pick them up at the walker gate. We are asking that you do not do that. If you would like to pick your child up, please pick them up by the safety guard or at the park. Last year, we had several students that were almost hit by cars in a hurry to get out. And so we're really enforcing that. We're really asking law enforcement to help us maintain that there are no parents driving near the exit gate, which is at walker gates, for the safety of our students. Also, we will be having second grade students because they are in a portable. We will have more students in that area. And so we really don't want to have any accidents with our students or any vehicles near them. So we're asking that parents, please do not park in that area to pick up your child if they are a walker. Have them walk closer to the park crossing guard to become a walker. The pre-K loop. If you have a student in K through 5, and have a pre-K student, you are allowed to drop your kindergarten through fifth grade child off in conjunction with your pre-K student. If you do not have a pre-K student, please do not use that pre-K bus car rider loop. But if you do have a pre-K child and a kindergarten through fifth grade student, you may drop them off at the same time at the pre-K loop. Also for orientation, if you have any medication that needs to be dropped off, the nurse will be here and she will be in the cafeteria as well. Uniforms. We understand that through PMG there is a back order. We have a limited supply on campus. We will be selling uniform shirts and doing orientation in the cafeteria. It will be a discounted rate, $5 per t-shirt, and $10 for a hoodie. Please understand that we have a limited supply, so this isn't going to be something that we're going to be constantly doing throughout the day. Once we run out, we will have to get your uniforms through PMG School Gear. If you like to go to one of the other stores like Target or Walmart, the tops are white, navy, or burgundy with the collar, and the bottoms are navy, khaki, or tan, black, or jeans. But as I said earlier, in the cafeteria, we have a very limited supply of uniform shirts that we will be selling at a discounted price, $5 for t-shirts, $10 for a hoodie. Also at this time, due for celebrations, a few years ago, we had parents on campus when we celebrated our Students of the Month. This year, at this time, it will be students only. So it'll be very similar to the process that we did last year, where we would have the students probably do the video in front of our new backdrop, take pictures in front of them with them, and we will do a live Zoom feed so parents can participate that way. However, at this time, all celebrations will be for students only on campus. But we'll have a virtual piece so parents can participate as well and interact. Who is allowed on campus, we talked about earlier, is approved volunteers. If you are an approved volunteer, you are allowed on campus. For safety and health, parents will not be allowed on campus. We're going to continue that from last year, where we have safety patrols and adult staff to walk students to class. So parents will not be allowed on campus. It's really important, if you would like to meet your teacher and see the classroom, that you come for orientation on Friday, August the 6th, because once we start school on the 10th, parents will not be allowed on campus. Agendas. We mentioned earlier about a good way to communicate with families is through agendas. So in the agenda, it has a lot of school information. The handbook has a lot of information for school. It also has those early release Wednesdays that we have. Before I go into reminders, Dr. Blackburn, is there anything else?
Yes, I would just like to reiterate that however your child is coming to school and going home, you need to start that the first day, especially with bus riders. Bus riders, when they arrive to school, if they did not receive their tag, they are tagged with the correct bus tag. So at orientation, you need to make sure you stop by the bus station to get your bus tag, and you need to go by the car rider line to get your car rider tags.
Thank you. It's also important that we know that every family has different methods that they send their child home. We're asking that you are consistent, especially these first few weeks of school. We know during the school year, you may tell your child to be a car rider today or a walker tomorrow, or you may drop them off and tell them to walk home. It's important that you communicate that information to the teacher as well. We have a lot of new students and we don't know all of them. I think we get pretty good at identifying our students and what car and how they go home. But at the beginning of the year, we still have to learn your students as well. And so if you're switching up how they go home every day, it's a little hard for us and the teachers to keep track. We want to make sure that they get home to you safely and the correct way. So just a few reminders. Orientation is this Friday, August the 6th, from 9 to 11 and 2 and 4. So between 9 to 11 and 2 to 4. During orientation, the office will be closed. And so if there is a problem with maybe registration or your child, you know they're registered, but they don't have an assigned class, The secretaries will be focused on correcting those problems, and they won't be really dealing with new enrollees or new registration packets. So during the orientation hours, the secretaries will be focused on making any adjustments or corrections. So the office will be closed. First day of school is August the 10th. Gates open at 7:30. The first bell is at 7:55, and dismissal begins at 2:55. Again, parents are not allowed to walk students to class. If you would like to meet with the teacher, please send them an email, call to schedule that if you would like to meet them and you can't make it for orientation. We have patrols and staff to walk students to class. Masks are optional for all staff and students. And for quarantine, if there has to be a quarantine, the students need to self-quarantine for 10 days. They can return with a doctor's note, or they need to have a negative COVID test. So I know that was a little long. We had a lot of information that we wanted to share with you. If you missed anything, or if you feel that there was something that we didn't cover, you have any questions, please write it in the chat box or the comment section, or send us an email. If there's anything that we may have forgot or said, oh, we forgot to say this, then we will probably write that in the chat bot as well. We definitely monitor Facebook more these days as we get closer to school. And so there's a few of us that monitor Facebook, and should we respond within the 24 hours. Again, if you're new to Laurel, welcome. If you are returning, we can't wait to see you. I got to see a lot of you this summer. I think some of the families thought I was a secretary. Dr. Blackburn was a secretary because we spent a lot of time in the front office. We are your administrators. We can't wait to see you. Teachers came back today. They can't wait to see you. They're in their classrooms getting things prepared right now for you. So we look forward to seeing you on Friday, hopefully. If not, we can't wait to see you on Tuesday. All right.
See you soon.
Hey, see you soon.